Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to full stack development session, and that is a Marine stack development session. So yeah, today it's about full stack development. We will talk about something what exactly the full stack development and what are the things we are going to learn in that full stack development and that full stack development through Marine stack. So don't worry about these terms if you don't have any idea right now, but if you have also fine, no problem. Just pay some attention. So we are going to see what exactly this. So before I start with the main concept, let me tell you something about myself, some quick introduction. My name is Keshav. I've been working as a full stack developer around 9+ years, and I'm into UI development, front end development with the technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript as a primary technologies. And coming to the frameworks, I'm into React developer as well as Angular developer. So coming to the backend server side technologies, it's about Java. I've been working as a Java developer, and as well as I've been working as Node.js developer with different database schemas. So that's it, guys. This is about some small intro about myself. Right. Thank you. So now we are going to learn something about what is multi-stack or what is full stack. So
Sir,
before I
good morning,
jump,
sir.
yeah, good morning. Yeah, tell me.
Can I speak?
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me.
Good morning, sir. This is Kiran.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, I don't have any experience in IT.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of my friends suggested that Munstack is in demand right now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, what are the basic, how to start, where to start?
So just it will be starting from normal basic HTML, CSS. What is HTML? What is CSS? That's it. That will
You
be
are
the
going to
basic.
cover all those things, right? From scratch?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, how many years of experience can we claim, completion of this course complete?
You will be having getting the exposure in this class a minimum of 2.5 years, around 2 to 2.5 years. You can minimum,
Okay,
that
sir.
is minimum I'm telling. So that purely depends on how you are working
Okay, sir.
during this course as well, how you are practicing and all that depends. Whatever I told is just minimum one. Yeah.
When I search for in Naukri also, so many calls are there, so many openings are there for React. Only for React also, so many openings are there.
Yes, that's what in this course you're going to learn React and as well as Munstack, right? So the complete full stack you'll be you can you are eligible, and for only the React also you'll be eligible.
Okay, sir. So completely for complete part of Node.js and React will be covered in this course, right?
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah,
Sir, hello.
yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, how are the average salaries for the 3 to 3 years guys, like for Munstack or React?
Yeah, we will discuss that. Okay, that after this
Yeah.
I will discussing. No problem. Do you have any other doubt other than that?
No, sir, no.
Yeah, fine, fine. Then. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, so before I jump into what exactly the full stack is and all, so first I would like to talk about the basic structure of a web application. Any web application, you take example. So if I talk about web application, generally I would like to talk about what are the different types of software applications generally available through any technologies. What are the main software applications are there? What is the category here? So if I talk about this, there will be something like some broad category I can come up with. Here I'm just writing some name, not name, just example I'm writing here. Whatever I'm using now, Paint, or something like some calculator is available in our computers, right? So the calculator, and some media players, or even some games, whatever it is. So these are one kind of examples here, and here I would like to have one more kind of example set here, which is kind of a Gmail application or Facebook application, something like IRCTC application, or some Book My Show application, etc. So different applications. These are one kind of applications here. So if you look at these two types of applications, we observe, like yeah. Before I say, can someone say, like, what exactly the difference between these two kind of applications? The major difference I don't want any deep technical aspects about it, but just by looking at these names, what is the primary difference we can able to see here? What are the difference, guys? What is the primary difference you can able to see here? Just let me know in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. You can tell. No, I don't want any technical definition or something. Just some difference. By just by looking at these examples, you can able to say what is the difference between these two.
Default our laptop or PC. These are used. We can access by browser.
Browser. Okay, good. Yeah. Any other guys?
Facebook, Gmail, and IRCTC are both we can use as web and app apps. There, these paint calculator means used in laptops, PCs.
Okay, good. Yeah. Any other things? Okay, guys. Good, good. Yeah. Whatever you told is correct. Yeah. So, before I say about laptop or okay, they can be run in laptop or computer and other things through app or whatever it is. So before I get into that, here I would like to say one simple thing. To run this application, yes, right? No internet is required, but to work with these applications, internet is required, right? The fundamental difference, like forget about other technical aspect, but just by looking at that we can say to work with those applications you don't require internet, but to work with this second category of applications where we require internet. So that's the reason these applications are software applications are of two types here. This is the second category, that is web application here, and the first category are called standalone applications, guys, here. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So, why exactly we call them as standalone applications and this is web application is simple. If I want to run either Paint or a calculator or media player or some game or whatever it is, I need a system and that particular application has to be installed in my computer. That's it, right? So I need one simple PC, one PC. Inside that particular app has to be installed. In whatever the way it has to be installed. Sometimes what happens, some applications might be installed in your computer by default, like along with the OS. few applications will come, like calculator. Generally, as per our understanding, we don't install calculator separately, right? The same is the case with Paint, provided you are doing any Windows operating system. But other things, some game or some other media player and all, if you wanna install into your computer, then we will be doing some installation activity on our own. But whatever it is, there one system will be there, and we'll be installing that particular software uh, into our computer only once, and we can able to execute, that is like we can able to utilize that utility for n number of times. So that will be installed somewhere else in your computer, and we can able to use it for n number of times. And if you want to understand the utility of, or if you want to use the purpose of this particular application, only one system is required at a time to work with that. Clear? But when it comes to this second category of application, what exactly happens here is, if you open Gmail and address in your browser in your computer, then if you do not connect to internet in your computer, then there will be some error like cannot reach to the Gmail page, or Gmail server unable to reach. Such kind of message you usually observe, right? So why actually that is happening? Because if you want to work with this set of application, web applications, at a time, two systems must be in working mode. You understood? So here the first category, like only one system should be in working mode, but whereas in the second category of, that is web applications, so always two systems must be in working mode here, guys. So what are those two systems here? The whatever the system which we use and where we open browser is called client system, and the one more system will be there which is located in the remote place, and that particular system usually known as a server system, guys. Fine. Now what exactly happens here is, inside this client system we'll be opening a browser. We'll be opening a browser inside the client system, and within that browser we will be typing the IP address of the server. Actually we'll be typing the address of the server. So but to be frank, we don't type exactly the IP address of a server. Assume we are working with Gmail application now. So your Gmail application usually will be having certain IP address. This may not be same, guys. Example I'm writing some certain IP address, something like this, some blah 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 IP address will be there. Instead of typing that, what we will be typing is the domain name we will be typing. The domain name, something like this is called domain name. Because we can't remember all the IP addresses, right? That absolutely an hectic task for anyone. So that's the reason we can able to do this. So we can type one domain address in that browser. The moment you do that, then your client will be connected to the server. So what exactly the server here is, nothing but uh, that Gmail, at Gmail premises, one more computer will be there that will be acting as a server. Your computer is a normal computer, but that computer is a server. Both are computers only. Now you are connected to that particular server. So now if you want to work with any utility of your Gmail application to use, so these both systems must be in connection mode, or both system must be in working mode. So that is the reason we call it as a web application, and we call it as a client server application also. Fine. Yeah. Now what exactly the things will happen in this client server architecture. This architecture I can call it as a client server architecture. So what will be there in the client? The moment you type www.gmail.com or www.facebook.com or whatever it could be, the moment you type it, what we can see over there is a website, right? A website will be opening over there. So what exactly that website will be consisting of? You are able to see something like sign in page, or you can see some sign up page, registration page, or if you do some logging, then you can able to see some home page, right? So whatever it could be, you can able to see something like set of web pages, right? So that website is nothing but it's a collection of web pages here. Clear, guys? So to work with these web applications here, two kinds of softwares has to be created. That is very important. The one thing is website, which is for the client. Got it? Or we call it as client side software. That is nothing but a website here. Now assume we have created it, one beautiful website, we have created it, kind of Gmail, we have created something. Our Gmail guys only created some beautiful website. Then what will be there in that? Assume there is one a registration form is there, one registration what I can say page is there. Inside that registration web page you have form where people will be entering some fields of data, and they'll be clicking that register here button. Then what happens? Your data will be transferred from client machine to the server machine. So what exactly this server machine is going to do here is that will take the data, whatever it is coming from your front end. That is like from your client, whatever the data comes from the browser, that will take that data here. So assume you are entering your first name, last name, basic details you are entering, then the data will be captured into your server. Then some activities will be happening in the server. So if for example, okay, the data is coming, then inside this server you will be having different modules, and this whatever I have drawn here, something like which is in the green color is called server side software, guys. Here that is called what? Server side software. And that will be having internally different modules will be there. For example, the first one you can consider as registration module or register module. So then what this will do, whatever the data comes, that will take that data, and that internally calls a database here. So here you will be having some connection to the database from the server here, and with that connection it will be connected to some particular database. That database could be anything here, you can use any type of database here, but the important thing is there will be a database, and that server will be connecting to the database. Now whatever the data you entered as a process of registration, the data will be get into this registration module, and then this will be calling the uh, a database, and this will store the data into database. Why we enter the data? Because to store it. Why? Because today if you do registration activity, tomorrow you won't do again registration, right? For that application, simply you will go with the simple sign in, login only you will be doing, right? So now to do all these activities, I'm telling like registration happening, okay, good. Now tomorrow what you will be doing? Login, right? Once you are done with registration, every day you don't do registration, right? So next day what you'll be doing? You'll be doing something like login, where you'll be entering your username and a password, something like that. Then what will happen? From the database, your data will be captured, actually username and password, and whatever the data you entered in this browser, both will be matched, both will be checked. If they are really correct, like match, then what happens? One home page will be generated, guys, from the server, and that will be sent to the client. You understood, right? Or else if both are not matched, then one error message will be generated, guys, and that will be sent to the server. So this is called response. Whatever it's been sent from your server machine to the client machine is called response, guys. And at the same time, you're entering some data and you're clicking one button, right? Then you are sending some data from your client machine to the server machine. So that activity is known as request, guys. So in this web world, web application world, whatever the activity is happening uh, in across the web applications, across the browsers, is nothing but the request and response only, guys. There is the combination of both a request and response here. Clear? So this is what, how a web application is going to work. Still, I have not talked about the term called MERN stack, and as well as still haven't discussed about the term called full stack. So now I am going to talk about it. Okay. So before I get into that, okay, here I'm talking this server side green color thing. One software will be there where different modules will be there, register module, login module, different things will be there, which will be taking care of your activity of registration and all these things, right? So I told you, but how that is happening, it is not like one person will be sitting in the server and is taking the data and is sending the data. No, nothing, right? Nothing like that. Then how it is happening? Because some kind of programming has already been set up over there. Clear? So that programming is nothing but a server side software already be developed. So to develop any software, we need programs to be written. To write any programs, we need the help of any, what I can say, like programming language. So to develop these server side technologies, one should know the knowledge of any one of these guys. You don't require the combination of this. If you know any one of these, that would be fine. So that is the technology like Java, Node.js, or something like Python, or something like .NET, or some other few things like PHP or something. So if you have understanding of any of these, one of these languages, then you can develop the server side software. Okay, good. Now coming to this client side, I told you a website should be there, right? First, a client should see that website and he should access those web pages. Within those pages only, you can enter some data or you can do some request, right? Through that only you can do. So for him, we have to uh, ensure that there will be one website for him to access to our application. Clear? So to do that, here website has to be created. So to create the website, as I already told you, website is nothing but it's a collection of web pages only. One website will be having different web pages inside that, but all are merged together or integrated together to provide particular task. The task could be different. See, Gmail web application or website task is different, and Facebook task is different, IRCTC task is different, and Wikipedia task is different, Book My Show web application task is different. So the utility and the Amazon.com that site, Amazon.in, that utility is different, but internal it will be having all web pages only. So now to create that website, first one should create the web page. So if you know how to create a web page, then you can create one more web page. All web pages together is nothing but a website here. Clear? So now to understand this, to create these things, one must learn some technologies here, that is HTML and CSS and JavaScript guys here. So here I use the term called and. Okay, at server side, I told either Java or the Node.js or Python or .NET. But when it comes to this client side, we have to learn HTML, CSS as well as JavaScript. Now, when it comes to this server side development, Java, Node, any one of them fine. But why three different technologies here for developing the web pages or subsequently a website? Because each technology has its role in that. Each has its own what I can say importance, as well as it has its own work. CSS has one kind of work, JavaScript has one kind of work, okay, and your HTML has one kind of work. So that is HTML is something which is generally used to add the content to your page. That's it. The content, right? Simply whatever your page should look like it should have some text related information, right? So content means whatever you open in a website, whatever you observe in that is called content. So that is like it should be some paragraphs, or there should be some images, or there should be some videos, or there should be some audio files, there should be some links for the people, or there should be some buttons where people can click it, or there could be some form where people can enter the data. You understood, right? So these are like, different kind of content. So to add such content, we take the help of HTML. In HTML, we learn simple tags using which we can able to add the content to our web page. Fine. Next comes, okay, in my web page, assume my content is very simple. I just want some text content. That's it. I don't want any images as of now. Simple text, that is, dear students, welcome to full stack. That's it. This is the only simple line. But that line should be a red color one, or it should be in green color, or yellow, or blue, or it should be on left corner, or it should be on the right corner. You understood, right? So these kind of things, if you have these kind of things in your mind to apply, then definitely we go for something called CSS, where this will be applying, and this is actually responsible mainly for the appearance of your web page, guys. So where the HTML is purely responsible for the content of the page, but whereas the CSS is responsible for the appearance of the page, how it is going to change the appearance of the page, and such things we are going to learn in our upcoming sessions. Don't worry about that as of now, guys. Okay. Now, using HTML and CSS, I can definitely create the pages, but those pages will be in static mode, where the content will be already finalized. The content is created by one developer, one guy will be creating it. That's it. When your user is accessing such websites, web pages, there he can't interact with your website. You understood, right? That will be like static one. That will be as it is. That will be shown to them. So nowadays the applications are not like where more interaction is required, and your page should not be like a static one always. It always should be like a dynamic one, right? So to add such dynamic nature, HTML CSS is not enough. By default, HTML CSS always HTML CSS is only styling only, right? Okay, only it will give you stylings, but when it comes to the HTML, it creates only the static content. But I want it to be a dynamic one. I always want it to be a dynamic one. So to add such dynamic nature to our web pages, we'll be using something called JavaScript, with the help of which we can add some dynamic nature to our web pages. So that is the reason I can say this JavaScript is something which decides the behavior of the web page, or which is responsible for the behavior of the web page. So to summarize this, HTML is responsible for the content of a page, CSS stylings, appearance of a page, whereas JavaScript is about behavior, how it has to behave because of that dynamic nature. So these three things together will create that web page and website. Fine, guys. Now, so coming to server side now, to develop these modules like registration, login, searching, and payment, different, so many things will be there. So to do all these things, we'll be using these technologies. But in real-time scenario, I'm talking about here, everything I talk in terms of real-time scenarios, guys, and as well as how an industry using the standards. So as per the industry standards, I will talk here. So whenever you're talking about any server-side development, just by using these as pure technologies or plain technologies, we are not going to develop the things in a what I can say enterprise scale. If you want to develop anything, uh, huge applications and all, we don't use only the technology. Along with the technology, we'll be using something called framework, guys. There is one term called framework. So what exactly the meaning of framework here is, for Java, for example, for Java you'll be using something called Spring. So but what exactly this framework will do, what activity it will do is, it is not a technology, first thing, and it is not a programming language. But what this framework will do is, it will make the developers work easy. It will make the developers life easy when they are developing the some big applications. You understood, right? So that is like what, how exactly it is doing, and all, like it will have its own recommendations. If you can follow such things, and then the development become a bit easy. Like, if you use normal Java, and if you want to develop and all, for example, if you take some 50 lines to do certain task, and if you use Spring, then that might be done in 20-23 lines. Example I'm telling, okay, some raw example, but it will be doing, it will make your life easy. That is called, framework. So for Node.js, we do have one more framework called, some Express.js, or people call it as Express. For Python, we have something called Django, or people call it as the Django or Django, whatever it is. Certain framework is there. For .NET, some .NET few frameworks for that. Now, using that, you can able to develop the softwares here.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like server side means this technologies Java.NET. MongoDB comes under which type? Server side or
Server side only. Actually, MongoDB is nothing but simple, and that is a website.
like we need to write any code, sir, in MongoDB?
Okay. Actually, you don't write anything inside the database, but you will write in the server side this modules I told you, right? Registration module, login module, right? So here only you'll write some code. Through that will be entered into the database. The data will be entered into the
NoSQL code, sir.
database.
NoSQL code.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. See here, as I told you, if you are doing any development, we take the help of framework, right? In the same way, guys, when it comes to this front end side also, HTML is simple language, okay? Just to tags. If you learn a tags, like, to add image, there will be some image tag kind of thing. If you learn all the tags, that is fine. You don't have any separate, special programming kind of thing. Next, when it comes to CSS, there some styling properties you will learn. That is like, to change the background color of the elements, how to change it, to change the text color of the elements, how to change it. You understood, right? Such kind of things will be there, where that won't be having, much what I can say, like, uh, programming to learn. But when it comes to this JavaScript, where your programming starts, even at the front, this website client side software, also inside that also there will be something called, programming starts from your JavaScript. So to write everything in the JavaScript using plain JavaScript, okay, absolutely we can write. That's not a big deal. But when you're developing some big organization, again same story. To make developer life easy, there are certain frameworks even at the client side software also. You understood, right? So in that case, for this JavaScript, we have popular frameworks like Angular or React.js. You don't require two things. If you have knowledge in one of them, either React or we call it React.js. So if you have knowledge in one of these, then that is fine, guys. Okay, fine. Yeah. Before I talk this, just one. Hello, guys. You please provide your details, like, your contact number, and as well as your mail ID, guys, to Visual Path admin in your yeah, the chat box. You can able to see Visual Path admin, and to that user or Visual Path, either Visual Path admin or Visual Path. You just share your contact details, guys, your contact number as well as mail ID in a private chat. You please share that, so that further communication can be made easy. You please do share that one, either through Visual Path or through Visual Path admin. Uh, you can share in a private chat, guys. Yeah, okay guys. Yeah, so this side, this is website. Okay, you will be creating using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and for help you will take Angular or React help here. And this backend side you'll be this server side you'll be developing Java, Node.js, or through Python. Any one of them is fine. If you use Node.js, you'll be using Express. Next, when it comes to this a database here, you will be installing certain databases and you'll be working with the database. There are different kind of databases will be there. For example, you might have some database like MySQL, Oracle. This is one kind of style of databases. There is one more kind also there, that is like MongoDB here. Actually, when you talk about this kind of thing, this is like an SQL style, or I can call it as RDBMS style. This is one kind of style of databases, and there will be another kind of style of databases, that is the second category, like where uh, people call it as NoSQL style, and this is an SQL style. This is one category. So there will be different database. You can use any database. The purpose of database is simply to store the data, but the main activity is this one. Uh, when to store the data, when to retrieve the data. You understood, right? So all these things are called actual main activities here, guys. Okay, now fine. Yeah. So as a user, now assume like this one application is created. As a user, what exactly user will open through your application? You'll be typing the address of your IP address or something like the domain name of your application. Then people will be opening your application. There, what people can see? People can see again same story. A website that is like a home page, a sign in page, sign up page, that registration page, or a home page, search page, whatever it is. You can able to see only this side web pages only. You can't see like how registration is happening at the back end, right? That is like what language you are using, what database you are using. All these things cannot be seen or observed by the user, right? Definitely you cannot see that thing. That is the reason we call this server side software along with the database. The server side software along with the database is the right, and this one we call as backend, guys. Okay, people call it as backend, right? So the meaning of backend here is something like where we can't see that as a user. We can't see that. Users cannot see this. That is the reason we call it as a backend. For your web application, two parts will be there. Actually, three parts. Website is this database is also one more part. Server side, client side, and this website, this database one more part. But this database sometimes will be considered together. The server and database together, we can consider it as a backend. And all the possibility, all the things what a user can see, the main possibility for the user is only one thing, that is like this website only you can see. That is the reason this client side software or website, we call it as a front end, guys. So what we call this one, we call it as a front end. And the other part is called backend. So in the industry, we are works on the development of this one, website development and designing and all are called front end developer. The other name for this front end is UI, guys, because this is an interface and through which people will be interacting with our application, right? So that's the reason we call it as a user interface. User can connect to our application only through this front end, right? That's why we call it as a user interface or UI. People are called UI developer or front end developer who are working on these areas. And the guys who are working on this back end, like server and database, and are called server side developers, or mostly we call them as uh, database developers. Only the guys who are working only on database are called database, but together server and database backend are called backend developer, and especially through their technology we call them, right? So earlier, in earlier days, around um, like 6 years back, 5 years back, at least 2015, 16, in that period of time, uh, there used to be certain certain developers separate and backend developers in the industry. Still they are there, but the scenarios have been changed. Like in the company, if somebody is working on the React or something like that as a developer at the front end, then what they are doing is that company will be doing, that organization will be asking their employees to learn one of the backend technology. You understood, right? Or the guys who are already working on the server side, like Java or Node, then they will be asking their employees to learn uh, any of the front end technology, like either Angular or React. You understood, right? So why? Because they don't want separate people or team to develop the web application. You understood, right? We need front end as well as we need back end, right, to work with any web application. So to do that, they are not interested to have two different teams. Instead of that, what they are doing, front end developer and as well as this back end developer together are called full stack guys. You understood, right? So the guys, the development which is like front end development and back end development together is called full stack development, and the persons who are responsible for this front end as well as back end are called full stack developers here. Clear? So just a minute, guys. Yeah, Ansia and Kiran, Rakesh, Venkatesh, and Haribabu, and VKUM. I don't know name. Yeah. So guys, you please share your details, like your mail ID as well as your phone number to Visual Path admin or Visual Path ID. You please share it as a private chat. You please do that, guys. So then only the further communication can be made. You please do that. Yeah. Here in this course, in this full stack here, coming to the UI side or front end side, you will be learning HTML, CSS, and as well as JavaScript. Coming to the framework, library framework, you'll be learning React. Coming to the back end or server side, you will be learning something like Node.js here. I prefer you guys to learn Node.js. The learning curve will be less, and in less number of days you can learn. And one more advantage here is, if you're talking about HTML, CSS, okay, fine. JavaScript is one language, right? And if you're talking about React is also on the top of JavaScript. You can learn it. Next, when it comes to the backend here, if you talk about Java is something entirely different. You have to start everything from the scratch. But when it comes to the Node.js technology, Node.js is like an environment where backend code you'll be writing, but internally the language you are using to develop Node.js is JavaScript only, guys. Okay. Next comes your database here. You will be having so many databases in the market, but there is something called MongoDB, which is like a NoSQL style. I told you, right? Nowadays people are using NoSQL. NoSQL is nothing but no structured data, guys. When there is a data which is not structured one, still it supports us to store. You understood, right? But other things are the guy like types of databases where only the structured data can be maintained. But when it comes to the real-time scenarios, all the times, if you look at social media websites nowadays, the data usually comes dynamically, comes like so much of data comes, and as well as that data usually of what I can say is uh, raw data, kind of no structured data. For example, Facebook post. Today you will do Facebook post with what, one heading and one text. Assume post is the data. Okay. Now the data will be stored in the post table. Assume. Next, tomorrow you will do for Facebook post without heading, only the text. And the next day you will do one heading with one image. You understood, right? Next day you will do no headings, only two images. You understood, right? Next day you will do post with only one video. You understood, right? The data can not be structured 1 year. So to handle such data, NoSQL style databases are used, and among them, MongoDB is one of the top database. Clear? That is what we are going to learn. And more than that, the advantage of this one is to access the MongoDB database, we use NoSQL language. Then you don't need to learn SQL language for that again. Simply, if you know the basics of JavaScript, with the help of JavaScript only, we can able to access the MongoDB database also through your server. Clear? So this is the, this is about your learning curve. Yeah, in this Node.js, as part of Node.js, you will be learning what I can say. One framework will be there in the Node.js, that is called Express framework. So this is your learning curve. So in this, as you people are preferring React as a front end, what I can say, framework, and you guys are preferring Node.js as a technology, and Express is along with that, and MongoDB as a database, right? If you look at this, HTML, CSS, JavaScript are common. Okay, so if you look at these, first letters of these technologies, uh, this actually called Node.js full stack with React, or Node with React full stack, you can call. But if you look at those first letters of those terms, like MongoDB M, next Express, next React R, next Node is N. You understand? M stands for MongoDB, E stands for Express, and R stands for React, and N stands for Node. And people call it as a Munstack. Don't think Munstack is something different or something like some buzzword. No, not like that. Simply, it's a full stack development only, where you'll be learning both front end as well as back end, but the front end through a framework called React, whereas backend through Node, and the database is MongoDB. And all these things together, four technologies, special technologies, that you will be having some what I can say, first letters are this, like this, just like that they kept this name. Clear? This is about your Munstack. Yeah. Kiran and V Kumar or something like that, VKUM. You please share your details, Kumar. You please share your details to the Visual Path admin or Visual Path ID through private chat. You please do share that one. So that's it. That this is about your Munstack learning, and this entire course, if you start from React, and that will take React you'll be learning, and that is JavaScript you'll be learning React, and then Node, Express, and MongoDB. Or if you're taking starting from HTML, so that will be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and Node and Express, and MongoDB as a database. And the course will last for around 2 months, and daily 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 1.5 hour, depends, depending on the time, so topic and all. The session will be there, and the sessions will be like mostly it always will be like an interactive one. You feel like a not like a, what I can say, like online session. It will be like a almost like a 1 to 1 hour live session. It will be how you feel, physical classes, in the same way it would be there. And once the session is finished, every day once the session is finished, your session will be recorded. The same session whatever we are discussing daily, the same session will be uh, recorded, and will be posting that record into your portal, and will be maintaining one portal where all such recorded videos, daily recorded videos, whatever it is happening in the live session, the same session will be recorded, and that will be provided to you, like as an access will be providing that. So the advantage with that, you guys, is somehow by chance you have missed one class. Assume January 10th you started your batch, then January 16th you have missed a class, then 17th you are again attending the session. So then you don't need to think like something new, I have missed the session. Simply you can go through that session, whatever it's been happened, and the same doubts you can if you have any doubt, you can make a note of them, and in the class direct you can ask such doubts. And you understood? So not only that, even even after finishing of your course as well, you can refer that entire sessions. Got it right? As a course, it will be available to you. Clear? So that will be the advantage. And when it comes to the daily learning, we'll be learning everything practically, guys. Nothing like theoretical concepts here. We'll be learning concept first of all, but immediately we'll be implementing the concepts. And coming to the projects, you'll be doing so many projects here using HTML, CSS, only JavaScript. You'll be doing one project, and through React, you'll be doing one project, and only the backend, complete pure backend application, you'll do one project. And at the end, the backend and front end together, you'll be doing one more project. So minimum of 3-4 projects you'll be doing in the session itself. During the course itself, you'll be doing the projects. Fine. And while learning, while happening the sessions also, after few days, not initially, but after few days, I will be giving you certain tasks to perform, guys. Clear? So this will be about your entire session. And what I can say, like demo session is this one. What exactly I wanted to show is this one, like what exactly full stack development is, what are the terms involved in that, and how the different technologies will be there in the full stack course, and as well as what are the prominent roles of different technologies here. Clear? So but before that, yeah, I just used one simple React application, guys, just for you to understand. I just created one simple demo application, okay, where you are able to see something, right? This is one application which is developed through React here, okay. And now see, I've just created it, and here I'm just typing one name, okay. I'm just entering go, click, I'm clicking, but you're able to see something. Nothing is happening in the page, right? Yes or no? Nothing is getting happened in this page. Why? Because the thing is, whatever I'm sending here is that my server, my client. From my client, I'm trying to access the server. I'm clicking the button is called what? Request. Clicking anything in the page is called a request. I'm sending the request, but nothing is happening. Why? Because my server is in off mode. I have not started the server. So now I just would like to start the server. So just created one server. I just would like to start this server. So to run it, just observe how I'm starting. You don't need to worry about these things, guys. Okay, this is a Node.js server I just developed. Forget about how I'm starting, and I'm just try to observe what is that one. See, now my server is Express server, is running on some local or something like that. This just to try to observe only for this understanding purpose. I'm just showing you. Now see, I've started the server, right? So now this time I would like to do the same activity. I'm clicking go. Yeah, now you are able to see something. Some message is getting back from the server as something like welcome Ajay. You understood, right? So now you change this. I'm using some other name, some Ravi Kumar, something just like that, some name. Now click it. Yes, again I'm getting. You understood, right? So this is called simple application one in the React developed, and Node is some backend. There's both Node and React. Clear? This is like a more kind of simple application, but nothing much. Just to show some demo kind of application, I just created this one, guys. Clear, guys? That's it from my side, guys. These are the things which we are going to learn in our course. Fine, and the course structure style also I have explained you guys, right? So yeah, that's it from my side, and I'm open to questions, guys. So you can shoot out your questions in the chat box. I will be happy to answer you guys, or you can even unmute yourself and you can ask your doubts.
Hello, sir. This is Sri Lakshmi. Yeah. May
Hi.
I know whether you are teaching mean stack also, Angular?
Yes, but as a separate one, only Angular one, separate one. But all these things will be in the one at a stretch. At the time of React, in some other slot, I will run Angular.
Okay.
You understood, right?
Yes, sir. Instead of React, okay, you're going to create some other batch. I mean,
Yes, yes.
Yes,
In that, some time slot will be little bit different. Okay, there the Angular. Instead of React, you can opt for Angular.
okay. The duration is same, like I mean, 2 months,
Same,
right?
same, almost same. The React Angular almost will be same.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, like how much we can expect the package for 2 to 3 years of guys?
Yeah, that purely depends on company and what I can say, like
Oh, like on average, I'm asking like
hello, able to hear me, guys?
no, sir. Now we are audible.
Okay, yeah. Can you come again with your question?
Like on average salaries, how like for 3 years experience guy?
Yeah. So that will be like what I can say. Uh, but I cannot say exact number. Why? Because some I do see different numbers from different companies. But you'll be having good amount, like more than four kind of thing will be there initial days. If you are preferring 1 year experience and all, if you go with that 4 lakhs, so like that it will be there. But if you are claiming 2 3 years 3 years experience with sound knowledge, that purely depends on how much you learn actually, how much you practice as well, right? Technical aspects other than the theoretical or concept oriented learning, you need some practical things as well, right? So that purely depending on that, the performance, depending on the performance you shown on that particular day of interview, it can last for something like 7, like that it can be there. So
Okay,
4
sir.
to 7, yeah. So why I am unable to tell you exact number. Why? Because I have seen guys who are in this range and who are in that range. You understood, right?
Got it, sir. On average, I'm asking also average only. Yeah, we cannot say that particular company norms
Yeah,
will be
that
there right first.
yeah, that's why I'm telling you the range. You can get the average. And got it, right? And yeah,
Okay.
Kiran, can you please provide your details? You have not given your details, to my
Okay. Okay.
to Visual Path or Visual Path admin, for any of this. Just provide your details. Yeah. Kiran, do you have any other doubts? Yeah, yeah. And other guys, yeah, VKUM, I don't know your name. You please provide your details here, either to Visual Path or to the Visual Path admin. Through private chat, you can share your details. Yeah. Meanwhile, other guys, you please shoot out your questions in the chat box, or else, if you're fine, you can unmute yourself and you can come up with your questions, guys. I will be happy to answer you guys. Hello, guys, able to hear me? Ansia, Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're fine with the session, or do you have any doubts, Ansia?
Yes, we are okay with the content.
Okay, good. Rohit, Hello, Rohit, able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You have any concerns, Rohit?
No, sir, no.
You're clear, right? Clear with the session,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Venkatesh?
Yes, sir.
You have any doubts?
Sir, can you explain me about React?
Explain the sense.
Means how it works, Angular and React.
See, this is like creating the web pages only, website only, but you'll be creating one interactive websites here, and as well as some more responsive website where the working speed, if you're talking about speed, will be more compared to normal HTML, normal JavaScript and all, and also it will make your life easy, and the structure of what I can say, like application will be easily maintained and easily scalability also will be more if you are working in an environment where a huge application has to be created. Then if you are going with normal JavaScript and all, then maintaining such a huge application, creating that will be difficult. But if you are using Angular or React, then it will be easy and all. And other than that, it has internally so many features, but such things I cannot explain you directly now. Why? Because you need some knowledge in the React and all that. In the course, we'll be learning everything. We'll be learning what are those advantages and how we are going to learn and how we are going to work with that and all.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And in our upcoming sessions, we can learn that, Venkatesh. Next one, two
Excuse,
sessions, we'll be learning that one.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is MongoDB, sir? I was here first time. What is MongoDB?
That is one database. You know other databases? You know any other database? You know any database as of now? Hello, Rohit. Hello, Rohit. You heard something like Oracle database, MySQL database. In the same way, MongoDB is also a database, but this is generally used for storing the data which is in the unstructured format. Even though data is unstructured format, still you can able to store it. That is the advantage of this one.
Sir, I can't hear you. You repeat again.
You know MySQL, Oracle, you know any databases?
Yes, sir. Oracle, SQL. Yes, sir. But
Yeah,
sir,
like that. That's what
I was a MongoDB.
That's what I'm telling. This is another kind of database,
Yes,
MongoDB.
sir.
Yeah,
Oh,
where whatever you heard, Oracle or MySQL, they are used for storing structured data,
yes, sir.
like student data only, like that. Employee table, employee data only, where all the fields are fixed. You understood, right? But
Okay.
in real-time scenario nowadays, the data is not in a structured format. Unstructured data will be there, and we have to store that data also, right? So
Yes, sir.
MongoDB supports it, unstructured data. That is another kind of style of database. Nowadays, mostly people are using this database, MongoDB database.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, second thing, Node.js.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what about Node.js and the Express.js?
These are the technologies, like your Java, Node.js is a technology, and Express is
Yes.
something like Spring is a framework for Java, like that Express is a framework for Node. So if you want to develop any server-side backend, development, you have to use Node along with the Express.
Okay, sir.
You can go through this session one more time, Rohit, if you want. I think you might have joined in between. No problem. Just you can. What?
No, sir, nothing.
Yeah, you can go through this session one more time also if you want, no problem, because you might have joined in between. No problem. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think you have given your details, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can ask them. They will be sharing you this video as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And VKUM, V Kumar, or I don't know, V Kumar, I don't know your name. Could you please come up with your queries, your doubts or something, whatever it is, if you have any. Else let me know, like, you are clear. Yeah. Okay, guys. That's it from my side. And if you have any other queries, you can come up, or else we can wind up for today. Sri Lakshmi, you are clear, right?
Uh, yeah.
Is there any bootstrap session also
Yes,
included?
yes. Yeah, that will
Okay.
be included. Yeah, within that React only, I will be including. And see,
Oh.
whatever I have mentioned here, those things definitely will be there in the course. Other than that, few things will be there. But these things
Oh.
definitely will be there. Other than that, extra few things will be there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys, then yeah, it seems to be fine for you, I guess. So yeah, so rest of the things we'll be discussing in our upcoming sessions. Nice talking to you guys, and I would like to meet you soon in the sessions, guys. Okay, I'm looking forward to meet you soon in the sessions. Okay, guys, then yeah, take care. Bye.